Governor Greg Abbott is directing the National Guard and Department of Public Safety, or DPS, to deploy to Austin for a weekend protest.
Yeah, there are so-called No Kings protests scheduled for many cities across the country this week, and organizers are protesting the Trump administration. Abbott claims the protests are linked to Antifa and domestic terrorists. Fox 4's Amelia Jones in our newsroom tonight with more. Amelia.
Casey, Heather, we still don't know the exact number of National Guard members that will be deployed this weekend to Austin, but when similar No Kings protests took place in June, roughly 5,000 troops were deployed across the state. Now, Texas Democrats criticized the move, saying that it infringes on people's First Amendment rights. Governor Greg Abbott says he is surging the Texas National Guard to Austin ahead of a planned No Kings protest Saturday. Similar to the protests that took place across the country in June, Saturday's nationwide demonstrations are against the Trump administration. During the summer protest, 9 people were arrested in Austin. Their charges ranged from felony assault of a peace officer to trespassing. This time, the governor says the protests are linked to the far-left group Antifa, though he did not share evidence that Antifa will be involved. Texas Democrats say it's meant to intimidate peaceful protesters.
It could intimidate some people who are wary of running afoul of law enforcement, people who simply want to protest, people who want to hold up a sign, listen to speeches, chant, etc., should not have anything to fear.
Matthew Wilson is a political science professor at SMU. Abbott's announcement follows a pattern of recent Republican actions that critics say is allegedly an effort to suppress First Amendment rights. Wilson says in recent years, it's been the Republican Party who has tried to champion freedom of speech, and this move could have negative implications.
More broadly, I do think that if Republicans are perceived to be too heavy-handed on freedom of speech, that there could be a backlash.
The Texas Department of Public Safety told us there are no plans to close the state capitol or state capitol grounds, but DPS troopers will be there to monitor the event. The governor did not specify how many National Guard members will head to Austin. There are still members stationed in Illinois, though court orders have blocked their deployment. Wilson says it's not out of the question that the recent uproar up north could have also played a role in the decision.
Yes, the Texas National Guard may be deployed elsewhere, but that there are more than enough National Guard forces available to handle any challenges that may arise here in Texas as well.
There are planned No Kings protests across North Texas, as well as in Houston, Lubbock, and McAllen. It's unclear if the National Guard will be present in these cities as well. Heather, Casey.
All right, Fox 4's Amelia Jones reporting live from the newsroom tonight. Amelia, thank you.